Hi, I'm Melissa and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I've been vegan for 10 years and a few years ago I started following a low-fat vegan diet and lost over 30 pounds. And I help other people do the same. I like to keep it simple, focusing on non-fancy, easy-to-make meals that don't require a lot of time or ingredients. In fact, I think keeping it simple is one of the keys to being successful with weight loss and keeping the weight off long term. Today, I want to share some tips for saving time in the kitchen so that you can make your easy meals and get on with your day. Even though healthy eating is important to me, I find it overwhelming to cook three completely different meals from scratch every single day. From deciding what to cook in the first place, to grocery shopping, washing the veggies, rinsing the beans, peeling potatoes and onions, chopping, cooking, then clean up, washing dishes, putting them away, and it's time to do it all again for the next meal soon. It's a lot. And I've mentioned in my previous videos how I recommend limiting dining out or ordering takeout when you're trying to lose weight because restaurant food has so much oil and salt, which makes the food taste better, causing you to passively overeat and crave even more junk food. So, while that means you will be spending more time in the kitchen, there are some things I've learned that can save time and prevent you from feeling overwhelmed. The goal is for your meals to be so easy to prepare that weight loss feels like it's on autopilot. Tip number one, give boring meals a try. I've used the example of my simple sweet potato, black bean, and broccoli meal in previous videos because it's such an easy go-to filling meal for me. I like how the food tastes. I can drizzle a bit of ketchup on top, and that's really all the seasoning I need for that meal. It's filling, and I can even make extra and put it in a glass container for the next day, which is tip number two. You don't need to reserve an entire Sunday afternoon for meal prepping for the week if that's not something that you want to do. It's very simple to get into the habit of doubling the amount of food you cook and then putting half in a container for the next day. You've just saved yourself having to chop, peel, and cook that meal tomorrow. Just reheat and eat. If you do that once per day, you've eliminated the effort that would have to go into making that meal tomorrow. The issue with making more than that is it could lead to food waste. You might not want to eat something you've had for the past 3 days in a row, and it's not as fresh anymore after the first couple of days, so it could get thrown out. That's all personal preference, though. But it's easy enough to double the amount you cook now to have something easy to warm up and eat tomorrow. You could get into freezing meals, but that will take some experimenting because certain things like potatoes don't freeze well. Tip number three, experiment with oil-free sauces and seasonings until you find two or three that you really like and can put on different meals. I find that people get really stressed out about not knowing how to make oil-free salad dressings or what do you put on your rice bowl or your pasta dishes. If you've been watching my videos for a while, you'll see that I often use the same few seasonings and spices on many of my meals. All of the meals in this video, for example, have a drizzle of truffle balsamic glaze on top. I got this for $10 at Marshall's recently in the food section, and it's oil-free, so I thought I'd give it a try because I love truffle flavoring, and it's got to be the best balsamic glaze I've had. It's literally amazing, and I've been putting it on everything. It's good on salads, rice bowls, potato dishes. You can even use it to dip no oil air fryer fries in it. So, highly recommend. And you could use sriracha as a seasoning or sugar-free ketchup. If you want to get more creative, you could make a creamy mushroom sauce that doubles as a pasta sauce and a sauce that you can use on your rice and veggie bowls as well. So you make your sauce once a week and you can use it on several different dishes. I find that needing a ton of variety in your diet can be a hindrance to weight loss. The people that I've seen be most successful with losing weight and keeping it off tend to be the people who eat very simply and somewhat repetitively. Okay, tip number four, and this is another way to simplify your meals and save time in the kitchen, is to prep veggies and fruit as soon as you bring your groceries home. Here are some ways that you can do that. You need a few large containers with airtight lids. And then when you're unloading your groceries, things like broccoli can be washed and chopped and then just stored in that container in the fridge so that when you're ready to make your pasta with broccoli or your potato broccoli soup, it's there ready to go. You can even wash your grapes and pick them off the stems so that they're ready and it's just a super easy snack. You can peel ripe bananas and put them in the freezer, ready to make smoothies or nice creams. Something I do weekly is I make lentils in my rice cooker, and 1 cup dry lentils makes at least 3 cups of cooked lentils. So I use a scoop in soups, a scoop in chili dishes, blended into dips, added to rice and vegetable dishes, even in lettuce cups, which are like making a healthy version of wraps. This all takes prepping and planning, but these little habits will form into routines that will save you time and frustration when it comes to mealtime. Because it is frustrating to have the intention to eat healthy and lose weight, but then taking actions that go against that goal. We've all been there. You have a stressful day and you're hungry and you want something quick to eat, but you don't know what to make. You don't have many groceries at home right now and don't feel like spending half an hour chopping, cooking, and cleaning. So, ordering takeout is sounding pretty good right now. We've spoken before how mastering your environment is such a key skill in losing weight and keeping it off. So, how do you set up your environment, aka your kitchen, in a way that enables you to make healthy meals quickly and easily? You have to create a few no brainer, super quick go to meals that only require a few ingredients without having to follow a complex recipe. That's where my weight loss meal formula comes in handy: greens, beans, and wet starch. Open up your fridge, freezer, and pantry. What can you quickly put together that contains all three of those that you will enjoy eating? Don't overcomplicate it. The wet starch and beans are an important part of the equation because they will make you feel full, but they're still low fat and low calorie density, so they're the perfect foods for weight loss. I have over 50 videos on my channel showing easy examples of these types of meals, so feel free to take some inspiration from those. Okay, my last tip, and this is not going to be for everyone, but if you feel frustrated with how often you're in the kitchen making meals, try experimenting with intermittent fasting or just shortening your feeding window, meaning you're eating larger amounts of food at meal times, but you're either not starting to eat until later in the day or finishing with your last meal earlier in the evening. Dr. Peter Rogers, who also follows and recommends a low fat vegan diet, eats 1 large meal per day. I'm not saying that I recommend doing that, but his reasoning is that he likes to be very efficient with his time and doesn't want to be making meals and cleaning up several times per day. So he just waits until he's hungry and then eats all of his daily food at once. You could do 2 meals per day and then finish eating early. That's good for your sleep as well. Brian Johnson here on YouTube, he's the guy who has made it his life's mission to end aging. He stops eating very early in the day as well because he is really into achieving the perfect sleep score and says that digesting food affects your sleep. I hope these ideas have been helpful and I will see you in my next video. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.